Hi everyone, and to all of the Gold Key, Silver Key, and Honorable Mention Award winners in the 2021 Scholastic Art and Writing Awards, congratulations. My name is Chris Wisniewski, and I'm the Executive Director of the Alliance for Young Artists and Writers, which is the nonprofit organization that presents the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards. Today's winners are joining an extraordinary and diverse group of past award recipients, people like Andy Warhol, Kay Walkingstick, Stephen King, and Shabalala Self. Today, you become a part of a nearly century-long tradition. But you're doing so in a year unlike any other. Despite the unprecedented challenges that 2020 has brought, each and every one of you has looked within yourselves and found the courage to express yourself through your art and writing. And that's what you're being recognized for today. That's no small feat. And so once again, I say congratulations. I also want to thank all of the educators, administrators, parents, grandparents, family members who have encouraged you along the way. The Scholastic Art and Writing Awards are a vast national undertaking, and they're only possible because of the exceptional effort of our affiliate partners all over the country who run regional programs, our dedicated staff in New York City, the leadership of our board of directors, and the many supporters who make our work possible. To all of you, I express my sincerest gratitude. Today is a day to celebrate this year's winners, but the tradition of the Scholastic Awards continues. So to all of you who are in 7th to 11th grade, who will still be eligible for the awards next year, I encourage you to apply to the 2022 Scholastic Art and Writing Awards next fall. Thanks so much, and one last time, congratulations.
Hello, my name is Rachel Alvern and I'm the Education Director here at the Shack. And welcome to the 2021 Snohomish County Regional Scholastic Art Awards Ceremony. This year has been challenging for all of us, but I have found great joy in facilitating the organization of the Scholastic Art Awards. I'm so impressed with the students that have created art this year and put themselves out there by submitting their artwork to the Scholastic Art Awards. We had over 260 submissions this year from 193 students. I want to thank the educators, family, and friends of the students that supported them and encouraged their creativity and artistic ventures. I want to thank the jurors that donated hours of their time to carefully examine the artwork. I want to thank the volunteers and staff that helped with all the tasks associated with Scholastic, hanging the show, processing the submissions, and more. Most of all, thank you, students, for allowing us to be part of your creative journey. No matter what award you receive today, it is your voice and your visual narrative that have made this time in your life important. Expressing your dreams, hopes, and fears, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your art with us. This is a big deal. Please enjoy the night. We're so proud of you. If you haven't come in to see the show, it'll be open until February 28th. Thank you.
Hi from Portland, Oregon. My name is Jessica. I'm an illustrator and I graduated from Snohomish High School in 2002. I'm very honored to be speaking with you today. Although from a screen, I'm glad we still have a way to connect. The painting behind me was done by my partner, Chris Foster, who is also a full-time artist. I thought this was a perfect backdrop for this video, so that worked out. To begin, I'd like to thank the Scholastic Art Awards team for arranging this event and for all the work you do for young artists and your communities. Early on, Scholastic recognized my work, and this really gave me a foundation of confidence. I'm still grateful for that today. I also want to thank my wonderfully supportive high school art teacher, Kathy Tanas, for inviting me to speak. She's done incredible work serving others throughout her entire teaching career, and I feel very fortunate to have been her student. A big congratulations to all of you young artists who are being awarded for your excellence. and you're already achieving, creating, and learning exciting things, as well as envisioning exciting things for your future. By developing these visionary muscles, you're really benefiting everybody around you. By practicing imagining, you're actually creating the future kind of world you want to live in. It's been interesting for me to imagine what I would have told my high school self to prepare me for journeying into a full-time art career. So I feel the best service I can provide you is sharing my experiences, what I learned, and what I would have applied early on to make my path a little easier. I grew up around SNL, The Simpsons, Ren and Stimpy, and all that the 90s cartoon renaissance had to offer. I saw cartoons and comedy as a voice of reason that pointed out the ridiculous way of life I was feeling all around me. Expressing myself through cartoons gave me relief and turned frustration into a platform for self-expression. Instead of seeing flaws, I was starting to see everything as hilarious. I saw characters all around me, and that was unlimited inspiration. Although I missed out on being a cartoonist for my high school newspaper because I turned in a drawing sample late, I got a second chance through my college newspaper and really learned to respect the deadline. I was rewarded and earned 2 Young Journalism Awards for my political cartoons and comic strips. This gave me confidence to keep drawing. There was a particular feeling I got when I knew I drew something funny. I could be sitting on the couch as a teenager alone, in an isolated, boring suburban neighborhood, but I'd be having a blast, laughing at my own sketches. It's that inner knowing that I knew I did something correct, that twinge of excitement. The drawing, by technical standards, could be a mess. The perspective could be off, the thumbs on the wrong side of the hands, but it didn't matter because I got to express the heart of the drawing. The feeling was conveyed, the comedy was expressed. As artists, we have to cultivate that inner knowing, that inner compass. It leads us on incessantly like Google Maps, constantly rerouting you from whatever shady part of town you got lost in, never giving up on getting you to Chipotle. As artists, we should always have Chipotle in mind while we work. It's that inner knowing, that inner click that lines everything else up and makes the details secondary. Anyone can learn how to draw thumbs on the right side of the hand, but no one can teach you to feel that click for you. It's a feeling I've had to practice, and it has gotten easier. For some, the click looks like a color they're really inspired by, or a really nice oil paint that feels good to work with. For me, the click usually is just the idea alone, an undeniable knowing that I, for instance, have to draw an interspecies mermaid family, getting an awkward photo taken at an 80s Sears portrait studio. That inner knowing leads me on until I feel satisfied, even if that means scrapping my drawing again and again until I feel my next clicks lining up, taking the form of good feeling brush strokes, line work, and proper perspective. I remember a time when drawing really was like boot camp. By the time I reached a satisfying stopping point with my work, my drawing peeked through a battlefield of angry eraser streaks. And I finally got to the point where I realized the entire time I was drawing, I had a drill sergeant yelling at me in my head, constantly criticizing me, playing back old arguments. I mean, it was a really stressful experience. And it was really getting in the way of that good feeling inner compass and slowing me down. If I knew back then what I know now, I would have been nicer to myself, and I would have started healing my mind. Easier said than done, I realize, but just knowing that that drill sergeant voice didn't have to be my acceptable normal was already setting me on a better path. In general, I've found more success by following good feelings and simply having fun with my work. This doesn't mean that the path to your final piece will be conflict-free or come without conscious effort or at times uncomfortable growth, but I found following fun has made the process way less rigid, and not so much of a grind. There was a really inspiring, unique woman who wrote several books in the 20s, Florence Scovel Shinn. She was a successful artist and illustrator and taught metaphysical ideas in New York City. This is what she said in her book published in 1945, The Power of the Spoken Word. From the Academy of Fine Arts in Philadelphia came 8 men, all of about the same age, who became distinguished and successful artists. They were called the 8 in contemporary art. Not one of them was ever known to work hard. They never drew from the antique, never did anything in an academic way. They simply expressed themselves. They painted and drew because they loved it, for the fun of it. I tried lots of things in my early adulthood that really weren't all that fun. Psychology and landscape architecture in college started to feel really off for me, as well as the standard hourly jobs I had around the same time. I knew they wouldn't work for me in the long run. I filled up my mind with ideas of cartoons I wanted to draw while I mopped sticky floors. On my lunch breaks, I'd sketch ideas before I was due back to hose off the afternoon dog poo at the kennel I was working at. I knew I had to find a way to work for myself. Fortunately, on the side, I was teaching myself Photoshop and an old school animation software, Adobe Flash. I was also getting children's book gigs online. At one point, it came down to a choice. I could work at an adult movie rental store or take on a new children's book project. I chose the children's book. I started to see that I could either put all my energy into working for someone else, spending my time doing something I didn't want to do, or I could earn the same amount or more putting all my energy into my art and developing my illustration skills. So I took the plunge and I moved to San Diego alone to see if I could earn a living solely through my illustration work. I ended up having more work than I could handle, and also had the pleasure of meeting visionary entrepreneur Charlie Jackson. He happened to be the founder of the original Adobe Flash software I had taught myself. He found me through the website I designed for myself that showcased my illustration work in a unique and interactive way. And now he and his assistant were walking around in my studio apartment asking me how much money I wanted. As my illustration career evolved, I got to fulfill new goals of working with wonderful art directors and larger publishers. I'm now enjoying a new art evolution, which is taking me to the land of pattern design and nature-inspired artwork. A couple months before the time of masks, I was able to reach another goal and was honored to show my work at the Society of Illustrators in person in New York City. It's my view that the healthiest thing we can do for ourselves, for each other, and our society is to create an inspiring vision and to hone our internal navigation to follow it through. As artists, we can remind each other that we do have the power to create something new rather than a regurgitation of what already exists, which is really just someone else's past idea. Thank you everyone for letting me share my story and perspective, and for everyone participating in this event today. I look forward to what we will all create together in the future. Thank you.
Hello artists! I want to thank you for participating in this year's Scholastic Art Awards. I know that 2020 was a hard year for all of us. Some of us found more time to be creative, while others struggled to find that spark. No matter where you land, I want to say thank you for coming together as a community and helping your fellow artists. It doesn't matter what medium or subject you use. You give a unique perspective to this world. You are seen and you are loved for it. Now your path may look different to the person next to you, or in this case this year, across the screen. If you don't know, the Scholastic Art Awards are the most prestigious art show and awards program for high school students. Now, we are so blessed to have an organization like the Shack in our area who can host this event for us. I know that all of the staff and volunteers work really hard just so that this program can keep thriving. Now, by this point, you're probably wondering, who am I? My name is Brandon Ringstad. I'm a marine biologist and an artist. I teach the public about marine science through science, personal stories, and art on my YouTube channel. Now, I created Nature Meets Paper about 5 years ago, so I've been creating content on YouTube for about 5 years. So what I do is I go out, I take reference photos of sea creatures, I take those photos, I create a schedule, then I do research on those animals, so I present those animals in a fun way, which I call an adventure. I'm an Alaskan native Inupiaq, as well as Norwegian mix. Now, these are both cold climate people with unique cultures, yet somehow I mix them perfectly. I'm an alumni from Glacier Peak High School. I graduated in the first graduating class back in 2010. Now, this means that I also went to Snohomish High School. Now, not only am I a grizzly, I'm a panther as well. Back in high school, I took art kind of just for fun. I was in a hard math and science focus, and so for me, art was just a way to relax. But I've used the skills that I've learned in my art classes in both aspects of my life. And now my senior year of high school, I entered the Scholastic Art Awards and I won a silver key. The funny thing about it is that same piece won several shows around the country and kept going to different shows because it kept winning, even though I got a silver key. And finally, the piece was purchased by the superintendent and hangs in the RSC of Snohomish today. So my portfolio was all things water. I wanted to paint subject matter in water that had to do with water and different things like that. I find it funny because I'm still doing my concentration technically today, 10 years later. Now, after I graduated, I attended the University of Washington, Seattle campus, and I got my major in aquatics and fishery science with my minor in marine biology. I wanted to travel the world and share what the oceans had to offer, but I found that the science community doesn't share their findings with the public all that often. Tons and tons of research is being done, but it's not being shared to the public. It's being shared to their colleagues, different people in their field, and I really wanted to break away from that. Science and art are on two different hemispheres of the brain, and that kind of makes it fun for me, because I like being able to find two things and bridge them together. I find myself in the middle of situations fairly often where I get the opportunity to pull two people on opposite sides of the river or canyon together and bridge these two communities. The imagery that I use so far pits two people or two groups of things against each other. But I can find common ground and bring them together. Today, it's kind of uncommon for somebody to try and bring people together instead of separating them or dividing them. Things are typically portrayed as us versus them. Now, why should we focus on the verses when we can focus on the us? All we need to do is show patience, kindness, genuine interest in each other, and love. These are the tools that I use to bridge people. If a guy like me can help my community, I know that a group of people like you can do a whole lot more. I have seen the incredible art that you've made. I am so proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself as well. I know that it takes hard work and dedication and lots of creativity to make these pieces, and I wanted to let you know to keep it up. Keep putting in the effort and keep pushing forward. Now I know for a fact that our future is in good hands when I can see what you can do. Imagine what more you can do together. On behalf of the Shack, the Scholastic Art Awards Committee, and myself, I say congratulations. This is a real honor. Go out, create art that unifies the world and is a beacon for light and love for our communities. I know that you can do it. I have faith in you. And from all of us here, thank you.
Hi, my name is Harper, and I'm speaking with you today because my mother was Susan Jane Russell, the art teacher who spearheaded bringing the Scholastic Art Awards to Snohomish County and made it possible for you to have the opportunity to be recognized for your incredible work. On behalf of my father and brother, I'm going to tell you about my mother and her hope for you, and also about an opportunity to win some scholarship money. Susan Jane Russell taught in Snohomish County for well over 30 years, finishing her career at Snohomish High School. With her bright red hair, tall stature, and never-ending energy and enthusiasm for young artists, Susan was known throughout the region for her ability to make things happen. So watch out if she had an idea and you thought it was a good one, because you were about to join her committee on it. Miss Russell believed that every student had art within them and should have the opportunity to develop their talents. She also firmly believed that art did not just need to be an elective. It could, in fact, be a career. She encouraged her students to apply to colleges and universities with art careers, and many of her students went on to have very successful careers as art teachers, graphic artists, industrial designers, animators, and more. My mother sadly passed away 3 years ago. However, she would want you to know this. Your art is very relevant. It's important. And congratulations on showcasing your talent and hard work. Putting your art out for judging takes extreme confidence, and I am so proud of you. In short, don't be afraid to explore careers in the arts. Okay, listen up, graduating seniors. You have the opportunity to win the Susan Jane Russell Scholarship. So because of all that's been happening, we've extended the deadline for the submission of your portfolio to be considered for the award. This is great news. You can find the submission details on the SHAC website or contact your art teacher for more information. So again, congratulations on your accomplishment as an artist, and all the best.
Hi, I'm Judy Toohey, Executive Director of the SHAC Arts Center, and I'm so honored to be with you tonight as we celebrate our Scholastic Art Awards. We've been sponsoring the Scholastic Art Awards for 26 years, and every year I am so impressed with the artistry and talent of our students. Today I'm up at the mezzanine gallery where you will see all of your artwork showcased, and I hope you're able to join us. Come up and take a picture of yourself standing next to your art in our gallery. It's really breathtaking. And now I want to just congratulate all of you. In the middle of the pandemic, to be able to have 193 students participate is fantastic. So impressive. So stay safe, keep creating, and congratulations.
Throughout history, society has always given a definition of what a girl should be. Though it is hard to change the world, the best you can do is try. Try to change your small part of the world. Stop giving into a system that has chained down females for many years, and have faith in yourself and in the goodness of others around you. We live in a world where people are afraid to try, afraid to take a leap of faith, afraid to step out into the light and proudly show the world who they are. There will always be voices, people whispering around corners, staring. But why? Why should we listen to the cries of a crowd when it is constantly changing? Who are they to tell us what a girl should be like? Who are they to say you are wrong or this is not what girls are meant to do? If you keep listening to these external voices, you may forget to listen to your own, because the only voice that matters is your own, the voice deep within your heart that lets you know who you are and who you are meant to be. Girls are not one uniform object or type of person. We are unique, each with our own set of extraordinary talents. There will always be someone you think is better, someone you wish you were, someone people compare you to. But you shouldn't measure your value on a scale built for someone else. If you let society's expectations cage your free spirit, you will never be happy. Never be able to be who you are. Never be able to be brave enough to step out into the light and show the world your true self. You may be afraid to try because you might fail, and you may fail at first. You may not be able to be where you want to be, but you have to try. You have to give yourself your best chance. Because all of us have to start somewhere to climb, to improve and to succeed. When faced with fear, close your eyes. Remember that failure isn't your biggest hurdle, but doubt and fear are. This unnecessary rationalization of your truest hopes and dreams. And know that if you accept failure as part of your journey, you will succeed. Because failure is not a dead end. It is just a step before success. Take a leap of faith, a leap of unwavering belief in yourself and what you love. Open your eyes. Remember that leap of faith. Remember that love you have for yourself, your potential, and what makes you happy. And when you take that leap of faith, you will fly higher than ever before, telling the world proudly, "This is who I am. I am the best and truest version of me."
My name is Dayton O'Cleary, and I received the gold key for a portfolio titled History Repeats, a gold key for a piece titled Stolen Innocence, a silver key for a piece titled Little Boy, and one more silver key for a piece titled The System. And the inspiration for all of these pieces comes from just the history of systemic racism and institutionalized racism that our African American population faces, and the effect it has on the African American youth.
Hi everyone, my name is Yuchen Lin, and you can call me Emily too. And my artwork name is 4 Types of Kid Learning During the Pandemic. And I am a Silver Key recipient of Scholastic Art and Writing Award. I was inspired to create this artwork because me and my family just moved to the United States last year. And during the online learning, I saw many students learning a different way as the student in Taiwan. So therefore, I decided to draw them into my drawing. Thank you, everyone.
My name is Amelia McLean, and I'm from Kamiak High School, and I won 3 syllabus for my photography and digital art.